Hi, this is Charting Man Dan of TheChartGuys.com, home of technical analysis education. Click the link for a free week trial, no credit card required, and gain access to our multiple live broadcasts daily, community chat room, educational videos, nightly watch lists, and more. Invest in your education and future and join the community today.
Looking at silver on the daily, weekly, shorter term time frames. Here we're looking at SLV, the Silver Trust. And we're getting in a very tight range. We can see we bounced with big long lower wicks off the 200-day moving average support of 1631 twice, but we're not really seeing much upside momentum, and the 10-day moving average resistance is dropping fast at 1678. So that is a converging channel between support and resistance, and we will look for a key break of that next week. As each day that goes by, there's less and less range in between them. And we can see Thursday and Friday these dojis show indecision, and because we're trading sideways, they're not really reversal candlesticks. They're just showing that the market doesn't know which way it's going right now. Close below the 200-day, we're looking for further downside. Close above the 10-day, and we're looking at the high of the bounce, 1683, and then some further upside. So, weekly time frame, big clear dump, and no sign of the bulls yet on this week's candlestick as well. We can look back here and try and find some support. And aside from these moving averages in the $15 range, the previous price support is down at $15.04. So the bulls are looking to form a higher low compared to that level to maintain the longer-term uptrend, which we are still doing. The longer-term uptrend is still intact, and longer-term meaning in 2016. But let's take a look at DSLV, one way to play bearish, and we had a very clear tightening pattern here with higher lows and lower highs, and then a breakout, big move to the upside on the silver dump. And then now we're slowly trending to the upside. And when having the opportunity, I always like to look at these inverse plays and compare them to each other, because you look at SLV and it doesn't look entirely bearish, this little slight downtrend trading sideways, but you look at DSLV and it certainly looks bullish, higher lows and higher highs, keeping all moving average support and heading up towards the recent resistance of 2845. Weekly time frame had a big trend reversal by getting over this middle Bollinger Band, which had been resistance for the past 10 months. So that level is now support, and the next resistance for the bulls to get over to keep this higher low, higher high pattern going is all the way up at 40.13. Still a long way away, but keeping an eye on that overall trend. And looking at silver on the hourly, we have a very clear downtrend resistance line to be watching and a very clear level of support at about 1740. We've dipped below that level a few times, but the bulls have bought that dip, and we have not closed below that level. And we can see very clearly the lower high downtrend line rejecting the price. Certainly worth keeping an eye on this downtrend line, because it will be very clear if we get a bullish break. But as of right now, the bears are in control with the lower high pattern. Here it is on the 4-hour chart, on the verge of a bearish MACD cross, and the low we've seen on this dump is down at 1714 and 1713, and that's where we're headed if we lose that 1740 level as support. So could see further downside. If we lose 1740, DSLV should see another move up towards these recent highs, and then it's up to that last support on silver to hold down at 1713. So all in all, summary, the silver bears are still in control, and we're trending slightly down. Small oversold bounce did not amount to much. This is the daily time frame now. The bulls need to see a higher low established, which they're trying to do at 1740, and then a higher high, which would require a break of that hourly downtrend resistance line, and ideally a move back over 1780 if the bulls wanted to see a lot of strength on this bounce try and play out. So we'll keep an eye on it. I always watch silver when I'm watching gold to see the correlation between the two. And certainly interesting these past few days, but one thing is for sure, on both gold and silver, the bears are still in control of the trend. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for all the likes and the shares. Have a great weekend.